Hello, we're back on Farming Simulator 25, and I've had some questions on sheep, how profitable they can be. Yeah, I've got some here behind me. So what we're going to do is run some tests from the beginning to the end and see how much money we can make off of sheep. We'll be right back. All right, so if you want to do sheep, what you want to do is get a grass field that's ready to harvest. Okay, either you can plant one and wait for it to be ready to harvest, or you can take an existing one that's ready to harvest. There's an existing one on my map. And what I'm going to do is put a sheep barn in here. I'm going to go to construction, go down to animals, over to sheep, and I'm going to put this puppy right here, this sheep barn, right here on my grass field that's ready to go. Okay. All right. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to place this. Be sure you have enough money because the thing is 97,000, but we're going to extend the fence, and that can be tens of thousands more dollars. So we're going to place this right here. Do you want to customize the fence? I'm going to say yes. Okay, and I'm going to run the fence down here. I'm going to run it up here. See, I'm already up to several thousand bucks. Each little leg there, several thousand. On the last leg here, you want it square with this so it will work out. And run this over to here. Boom. Do you want to plant meadow? Say no. Remember, I have grass that's ready to harvest. Their meadow grass will mess it up and it'll say that it's not, can't support your sheep. So say no. Boom. We're done. All right, now let's take a look at this. This thing will hold 167 sheep. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put full grown ones in there. 167 sheep is going to cost me around $90,000, including the delivery fee. Okay. Boom. I just put them in there. And there we go. Look at there. Full grown sheep. And they'll start making wool. Okay. They'll start making wool. Now, what I'm going to do is fast forward this and see how we come out. And the cool thing about this meadow here, because it's a field ready to harvest, look at there. I have 34,000 liters of grass for these guys to eat. And that'll keep them going for a little while, and that's 100%. So for sheep, I really like sheep because it's easy to do and your field can support them most of the season. And we'll see how that comes out. So we're going to see how we come out monetarily, and also putting grass in here, how that's going to work for us. We'll be right back. All right, one more thing. To get the most bang for our buck, okay, what we're going to do, instead of having a lot of lawnmower equipment, just say this is all I got right now, I'm going to go to the shop under mowers and load a mod that I have. And this is it, Husqvarna MZ54 Clear Cut. If you press on the right joystick on that, it will show you also the collector that goes on the back, and I'm going to get the 6,000 liter one, okay, for 990 bucks. And I'm also going to get the mower. And we won't have to use that for a little bit, but we'll show you how that works here in just a minute. All right, it's the next month, and we've used a chunk of our meadow grass. Let's just take a quick look. Okay, we used about 9,014 liters of grass. Now, normally we could go another month or two, but winter's coming up, and what I want is my meadow grass to replenish itself before winter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and top this off, and there you go with grass. Now, since I'm using 9,000 and change a day in grass, I want to have more than that in here, so I'm not using my meadow grass, so the meadow grass will replenish. So I'm going to do 2 loads of this. All right, we're dumping in our second load here, and that should top us off. Let's just take a look how we're looking. So what I want is more than 9,000 and change, so 10 or 12. 2 of these is close to 12. So, okay, 8,500. If I can get to 10, that'd be awesome. So there you go, there's 10. So that's enough to take the pressure off my meadow so it can replenish itself. Okay, it's now October. We went to the next month. And look at our meadow. It is looking good. So if we go to the menu and take a look, our our meadow grass has completely replenished. So now we have 3 months worth. I'm going to go ahead and replenish this again so I'm not using the meadow grass. And that way, in the months during the winter, if it snows, I can go 3 months without putting grass in here. That's pretty cool. Okay, before we go to the next month, it is November. Let me show you that. If you look at our sheep pen there, we have filled it up, but also the meadow grass from last month has replenished. And that's what we want. We have a full thing. There's more than a day's worth in the food capacity, but also the meadow grass will take us 3 months. So let's see how that plays out. Oh, just so you can see, it is now January, and we are subsisting completely off our meadow grass. Okay. Okay, we have gone all the way into March, and look at our grass. It's getting kind of messed up. The sheep's been tearing it up. Let's look at the menu there. So we actually have one more day's worth in there, I think. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and top it off right now in March so it can regrow easily. But you could go one more day, I think, because we've been spending 9,014 liters and I got 11,000 left. So, but I don't want to get it down to nothing. So let's go refill our grass. All right, we've gone to the next month. It is April. Look at our meadow grass. It has completely replenished. So now we can coast for about 3 months on what we have in there. Okay, we've gone all the way to July, but now we got to put grass in here. And it's hailing, but we got to get hot and put some grass in here before we run out. Well, the first year we made like $221,000 on the easy mode. I'm going to show you the spreadsheet in a second, but I'm going to run it a whole nother year because the first 8 months it kept increasing every month, and the second year is going to be more per year. So I'm curious how that's going to work out for wool sales. Okay, we've completed our test. Let me put some numbers up for you. Interestingly enough, for the first year, we made 221,000 on the easy mode, about 128,000 on the normal mode, and about 71,000 on the hard mode. But if you look at the months there, August through February or March, it keeps increasing. So maybe it takes them a little bit to mature after you first buy them to produce the maximum amount of wool. So what I want to do is run that for another year. And we did that. Let me put those numbers up. And the second year, we made $328,000 off the wool. 328,000 off the wool. And you can see the numbers there are more consistent month to month. So once you're up and running after the first year, you're making 328 on the easy mode, about 184 on the normal mode, and about 102,000 on the hard mode. And those are the numbers. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I just want to show you that they can be very, very profitable. And keep in mind, I only had to put grass in here like every 3 or 4 months, right? And then it's just, 10 or 12 liters of grass. And the other 3 or 4 months in between, I'm coasting off of this meadow, which is pretty cool. Now, I did play with this a little bit. The most sheep I have is all you're going to get, even if you make this bigger. It caps out at 167 sheep, no matter how big you make the meadow, I think, because I had it smaller than this, and it was still 167, and I made this one bigger, and it's still 167. So I think that's it. Once you get to a certain size, that's the maximum for that pen. So, but it's still pretty cool that I can go 3 or 4 months. This is pretty low maintenance money here. Uh, like I say, every few months you cut the grass and put it in there. And with this little lawnmower here, it's pretty easy to do. And this thing's only, maybe 6,500 including the bagger. So that's pretty good. And that's it. That's our results. That's what I wanted to show you. I had some requests on this. I am Farmer Teacher. If you like what you saw, share this with your farming buddies. Hit that like button. I'll see you on the next go round. Bye-bye.